What you will learn in this episode.
Discover the 3 simple steps military linguists use to master a language fast, and why it's not about memorizing endless vocabulary lists.
Learn how to transform passive vocab into active fluency using real movie dialogues without leaving your couch.
Uncover the secret to making your language skills stick, so you're not just repeating phrases, you're expressing yourself naturally.
Imagine being able to actually converse in a new language. Not just know words, but talk. And doing it within a single month.
Sounds pretty ambitious, doesn't it?
It really does. But today, we're diving into a method that claims exactly that.
We're looking at the military language method. It comes from insights shared by a military linguist on the YouTube channel Tony Marsh. The whole idea is getting you conversational fast.
Exactly. And you can see why the military would need something like this.
Oh, absolutely. Deployments happen quickly. There's no time for, years of classes.
They need functional communication, basically yesterday. So the core goal here is getting conversational in about 30 days.
Okay, so how does it work? The source lays it out like a pyramid structure, 3 levels.
Right, 3 levels and then something kind of overarching everything. Let's start at the bottom, the foundation. They call it structure.
Yeah, structure. This is essentially how the language works. It's broken down into 3 main things. Verbs, vocabulary, and useful expressions.
Okay, so verbs, that's your basic actions. Like I am, I have, I like, I want.
I want, stuff like that. Your core action words.
Then vocabulary, basic nouns, adjectives, the words used with the verbs.
Exactly. And then those little useful expressions, things like, okay, very good, nice.
Little bits that make speech sound natural.
Right. And what's really key here, according to the source, is how verbs and vocabulary work together. It's like a partnership, a kind of yin and yang.
Oh, so?
Well, you pair a basic verb with simple vocabulary, and boom, you can immediately start simple questions and answers. I am Tony. Are you? I'm from Chicago. Are you from? I like this. Do you like that? That kind of thing.
Ah, okay. So even with just that basic structure, you can start a sort of back and forth, like a little conversation game.
Precisely. A tennis game of conversation, as the source puts it. But, and this is important, a lot of language methods kind of stop there. They focus heavily on just the structure, grammar rules, word order, memorizing lists.
Right, I've seen those. Lots of theory.
And this method argues that's not enough. It's like studying boxing theory versus actually getting in the ring, or reading about tennis versus playing a match. Structure gives you the tools, but it doesn't automatically mean you can use them in real time.
Okay, that makes sense. So that must lead to the next level.
It does. Level 2 is conversation. This is where you actually apply the structure. It's about how the language works for you.
Ah, so taking the rules and words and making them active.
Exactly. Using them in that dynamic back and forth. It's not just memorizing, it's doing. That tennis game or martial art idea again, asking, answering, interacting.
So is it like learn a rule, then immediately talk?
Pretty much. Learn a bit of structure, use it in conversation. Learn a bit more structure, use that in conversation. It's this cycle.
Building up gradually.
Yeah, and the goal is building muscle memory for conversation. Like riding a bike, you think hard at first, then it just flows.
You stop thinking about how to say it and just say it.
Right. And the source suggests this conversational automaticity, this muscle memory, can actually develop quite fast with this kind of focused interaction, sometimes within minutes of repetition.
Wow, okay. So structure, then conversation. What's the top of the pyramid?
Level 3, personality. This is where the language stops being just a tool and becomes your tool.
You mean like expressing yourself, your actual self?
Exactly. Your personality starts to shine through. You can be funny, you can be serious, kind, whatever, naturally in the new language.
That's fascinating. The source even mentions that phenomenon where bilingual people sometimes feel their personality shifts a bit with the language they're speaking.
Yeah, the ESP, SSP, ASP idea, English-speaking personality, Spanish-speaking, etc. It's an interesting side note.
Okay, so we have the 3 levels. Structure, conversation, personality. What was the overarching thing you mentioned?
Yes, the sun shining down on the whole pyramid. Listening.
Listening. Okay, crucial.
Absolutely vital. Because while the pyramid levels are kind of internal, what you're building, listening is your input from the outside world.
It feeds the whole process.
Right. And listening can be tough, you know?
Yeah.
Fast speakers, different accents.
Definitely.
But the source stresses that listening nourishes your own approach. It helps you internalize the rhythm, the flow, the common phrasing.
And it affects the personality level too, right?
Yeah, interestingly, the source says listening's rays hit personality first. You hear how others express themselves, maybe pick up phrases, kind of like you do in your native language with friends you hang out with a lot.
So you start to adopt bits of what you hear. And how should we listen effectively according to this?
The key strategy mentioned is focusing on keywords to get the gist. Don't try to catch every single word, especially at first. Guess the meaning from the main words you do understand.
Okay, focus on the core message. So this whole framework, structure, conversation, personality, fueled by listening, is designed to get you conversational in
Right.
roughly 30 days.
That's the claim, starting simply with basics like how to say I am.
It really challenges that idea that it has to take years to learn a language.
It does. I mean, we all know people who took, say, Spanish or French for years in school.
I can barely order a coffee. Yeah.
This method suggests that while mastering a language is lifelong, getting conversational should be much faster, days, weeks, maybe months, but not years.
The goal is practical communication, quickly.
Exactly. The claim is this is the fastest way from zero to conversation in about a month.
Okay, so just to recap the core ideas, start with structure verbs, vocab, expressions, then immediately use it in conversation, build that muscle memory, let your personality come through, and listen actively all the time.
That's the essence of it.
So the final thought for you listening is, could this approach change how you think about language learning? Could you actually aim for conversational ability in the next 30 days using these principles? How does that stack up against maybe your past experiences?
It's definitely something to chew on, a very different way to frame the challenge.